Hi class. Today I'll be sharing a story about the first time a customer complained about me to a manager. 10 years ago, I used to work for Toys R Us. I worked for them as a back-of-house team member. Back-of-house meant the warehouse in the back that held all the big-ticketed items. So our job was to grab these big-ticketed items and bring it to the customer at the front of the store and or help them to their car. Now, big-ticketed items range from small tricycles to big play sets or swing sets. On a normal shift, there's usually only one back-house team member and a backup to cover their lunch. In season, there's 2 or 3 that alternate between lunches and cover each other. This story takes place during off-season, so that would mean me being the main back-of-house employee taking orders. On this particular shift, I had an order for a playhouse. The playhouse box was about 4 feet high, 2 to 3 feet wide. It was made out of plastic, but it wasn't super heavy. But it was also big enough that I had to throw it over my shoulder and carry it. So I get this order for this playset. I go upstairs, I scan it out, I put it in the elevator, send the elevator downstairs. I walk downstairs, I get it from the elevator, I throw it over my shoulder, and I head out the doors so I can go to the front to drop it off to the customer. Immediately after I go through those doors, I hear an "excuse me," and I initially ignored it because I didn't think it was for me, as I was carrying this big box, and the customer wouldn't stop me because they saw me with this box, right? Wrong. I hear 2 more "excuse me's" as I step forward, and I turned around to face a family of 4, 2 children, a mother and a father. I tell them, "Look, I'm sorry. I know you need some help, but I have to do this real quick first, and I'll come back to you as soon as I can." And I proceed on my way. As I drop this off to this customer, help him to the car, put it in the car, head back to the family, I see my manager standing there with them. And I'm thinking, whoa, what are you doing there? So I approach the family and the manager, and as I approach, I hear the woman complain about me to the manager. She says, "Look, here's that employee that ignored us when we asked for assistance." And I was taken aback. I was like, wow, I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't stick up for myself. I just stood there as she told my manager that I ignored them, even though I didn't. I acknowledged them, and I told them I'd be right back because I had to drop off this product to this customer that was there before them. My manager scolds me in front of them, but after they leave, he pulls me aside and says, "Look, I know your work ethic and I know you as a person, and I'm sorry I had to yell at you, but I had to do that in front of the family so they would go away." And that day I learned 2 lessons. The customer isn't always right, even though that's what they always say. And the second one being, even if you do something right, follow the procedures, you might still get in trouble. It might not work out. Thank you for listening.